Hey y'all, so I am back and today's video is a little different. We are not doing makeup. We are celebrating because, yep, I graduated my high school diploma. Oh my god, Denver is excited. I'm excited. And I went through Penn Foster online, so my certificate finally came in the mail and I could not wait to do my photo shoot to celebrate me because why not? Nobody else is going to celebrate you. You have to celebrate yourself sometimes, and that's exactly what I did. So my journey of wanting to get my diploma started like years and years ago. The plan was always to go back to school once I dropped out in the 11th grade. I got pregnant and I was gonna go get my GED or the diploma one, but it just never happened. And for me, I've always been able to like get jobs with no problem. That's never been an issue. But deep down in my heart, I just always wanted to get my diploma and I kept putting it off. Like, so one day I was not working. This was like sometime last year. I was not working. And I'm like, I could be doing it like right now. Like, what is stopping you from just getting online and doing it? So, Penn Foster has always been one that I thought about doing, but was always like, I don't know how legit this is. You don't want to put money into something, then it's not real. It's not a real certificate. And so, my love of makeup, if you go back to some of my videos, my favorite MUA is Old Abby. She's normally mostly on Facebook, but like I just love her down. And so she was going through a tough time and she came online one day and was like, she was halfway through the Penn Foster program. And I'm like, oh my God, I literally was just telling my daughter like I wanted to do Penn Foster. And I'm like, that's a sign, like your favorite MUA is doing it, you could do it too. So I hopped online. I never forget, it was the night. And I'm like, what do I gotta do to get started? You literally only gotta put like $20 down to get the program started. So I paid the $20 and my courses, they just came up. Like I was able to get started right then the next day. I never forget. I did one section the next day and I got like a 50% because it's multiple choice. So I was like, I'm gonna just guess and just put anything. That's not gonna work. You have to do the work. You have to read and you have to do the work. Like it's no shortcut around it. But I am so happy that I did it. It took me about 3 to 4 months to finish completely. Is it hard? No, it's not hard, but it is work. Like it's something that you have to put time and effort into doing because it is time consuming. Like each section of it is like 8 different sections that you have to complete and pass each of the tests. Like, so for me, the math was the hardest, of course, because I hadn't seen math problems in I don't know how long. I'm about to be 42, so like I am a fully grown adult that went back to Penn Foster and got my high school diploma. It was just, I had to do it for me. Sometimes you have to do it for yourself. So for me, the math was the hardest. My kids helped me. And the essay. Now, the essay, I did not pass the essay the first time. They sent it back so fast and told me I had to do it over, which was fine. I didn't mind it, but the essay for me was the hardest, and so I got help with that. But I was able to eventually pass and got her done. So I'm so excited. Penn Foster is great. It's a great way of going back to, if you don't want to go in person and you want to go online. If you know anybody or yourself that's looking to go back and get their high school diploma or just anything, like, because I got the diploma now, so of course I'm going to go back for early childhood development. So I'm excited to start that. And again, another $20 to get started. Overall cost for me was $1,200, only because it depends on how many credits you have. So like, let's say you was almost there but then you dropped out, so it just depends. Like if you could transfer your credits over and they see you have so many, it won't be like $1,000, it'll probably be cheaper. But for me, it was $1,200. You do have payment plans. You can make payment plans. My payment plan was $55 a month. So for me, if I could go back, I just would have paid it. Like, I was playing around with paying it. I'm like, oh, yeah, I pay it here and there. If you have the money to just go ahead and pay it, go on and pay it, because then that's a relief on you. You don't have to worry about payments. I say my biggest mistake with Penn Foster is, for me, but I'm trying to help somebody. So if you're listening and you're trying to do this, don't put a time limit on when you should be finished. Don't say, oh, I'm going to start today and I'm going to be done by the end of next month. That's why I messed up at. Like, I literally started in September of last year, and I was like, okay, I want to be done by December. I want that to be a Christmas gift to myself. So I'm like, literally, you have each section, you have 8 or 9 different sections that you have to complete and pass the test. So remember, I'm not working, so I'm here like, okay, I'm gonna just go hard all day, go hard all day, go hard. I'm gonna stop and eat, and then I'm gonna get right back to it. I gotta do my studies. Like, that's what I would tell my kids. I'll pick my kids up from school, cook dinner, like, all right, I gotta get back to my studies. Like, I literally was doing it all day long because I'm trying to be, done by a certain amount of time. Okay, well, for a good month, I was good. I was just doing that only. So, but then it started to get like, oh my God, like overwhelming. You starting to get a little drained. You're tired because you're just looking at a screen all day. Your head's starting to hurt, especially with the math part. Like, it was a lot. So I'm like, okay, I don't know, maybe I need to step back a little bit. I'm doing too much at one time. And I was like, but then if I stop, I'm not going to get done by Christmas. So Christmas goal was out. That wasn't going to happen, because what ended up happening is I ended up started back working. Trying to do it and work at the same building. I work with kids. I would literally be tired. So it just got pushed, and I was not doing it. I literally had stopped. I just stopped. Not because I didn't want it. It was just, I was just burnt out. I was tired. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to come back. I'm going to get it done. But you know how you push stuff out the window, but I was going to come back. So what ended up happening is my job was getting on my nerves. Like, literally, I've never had a problem with finding a job without a high school diploma, but I was ready to just leave the daycare that I was at and go to another daycare. So I was still working. I went to the interview. Back in the day, getting into childcare, they didn't care about no diploma. You didn't have to show no proof. They would just hire you because, daycare, they always need people. So times have changed. Times have definitely changed. Now they are more stricter on childcare. You have to have proof of diploma, and they literally want you to have a CDA. And so by me, I was not able to get the CDA because I didn't have a diploma. But I've always been able to get hired into daycares because of my experience. Back then, when you didn't need a diploma. I hope I'm making sense. So that was my first letdown in a job where they told me, like, man, we really do love you. Like, I could tell you would be a great fit, but unfortunately, we cannot hire you because you don't have a diploma. When I tell you, that crushed me like no other. I had never been turned down from a job. Literally, I went in my car and I cried because I was like, oh my God, like, I just been turned down from a job because I don't have a diploma. Like, I was very hurt. And it was like, because I work with the younger generation, I'm like, these young kids in there, they don't care about these kids. They just here to get a check. Like, I absolutely love working with kids. I said, you know what? This can't happen to me. I don't ever want to feel that feeling again. I was just like bummed out. I came home, honey, and got back on that Penn Foster, and I said, I'm gonna finish and I'm gonna get my dang on diploma. I said, I ain't never gonna get turned down from a job that I know I'm capable of doing, that I know I'm better at doing than the little ones. So it was back to the studies. Like, I was still working at my other daycare that I didn't want to be at, but I was coming home and I was like, I don't care if I'm deadbeat tired, I'm going to do my work. So I got her done. Once I got her done, I'll say overall it took me about 6 months to just be done. I was done, once I was done. But I still had like fell back on the payments because, life be life. And, I got a house, I got kids. So sometimes I was missing my payments. But I would say if you're able to pay it off, just pay it off. But if you got to make the payments, just make the payments. But once I got her paid off, I was like, ah! So it took me 6 months to get done with the official program. And it took me about another 3 months or so to, get it all paid off. So, I can't stop smiling. But like, I just wanted to get on here and tell anybody that if you're thinking about going back to get your high school diploma, you can do it. If you're older like me, some of that stuff you're not gonna know because you ain't been in school in over 20 years. So it's just like, if you got teenagers, make them help you. Like, Google do help. Like, I ain't gonna lie, Google did help, but sometimes Google be wrong. And some of them questions I literally had to figure out on my own. Like, it was just, especially math, it was like, okay. And I didn't want to shortcut myself, so sometimes I did look for help, but sometimes I tried to do it myself, and for the most part I did. So I'm very proud of myself. And it took about 3 weeks to come. After you make that official payment, you get an email right away, the digital one. So if you need proof of it, you do get that digital one right like 2 to 3 days after you pay it off. But your official one doesn't come for like 3 to 4 weeks, and it comes like this. So I'm gonna put her in a nice little frame, and I'm gonna put her next to my son who graduated 2 years ago, who's now in the Army. So I got 2 more to go, and they're going to graduate. I didn't have nobody to push me to keep going, so with my kids, I'm like, no, you guys are going to graduate. If you don't do nothing else, get that diploma. And I'm glad that, it turned out this way, because they've seen how it did kind of affect me by me not having it, and they've always heard me like talk about it, but like I wasn't ready to like officially do it until I got that push from my MUA, who I kind of looked up to and learned a lot from in makeup and stuff. And I was just like, wow, if she could do it, I could do it. You know what I'm saying? So like, and it just showed my kids like, mommy's that girl. They're gonna be like, don't say that. Don't say that. But like, they're teenagers, and to see that like, I had my first child as a teenager, and I went back as a full grown adult and went and got my diploma, I could tell they was happy for me. So, and I'm happy for me. If I didn't do it for anybody, I did it for myself. So one last thing, you can start Penn Foster as young as the 8th grade. So let's say you have a child that's, just not doing well in school, or don't like in-person school, they being bullied, or it's just not working out for them. You could get your child signed up to Penn Foster starting in 8th grade. And I'm like, wow. So I just wanted to go in here and share this with somebody. And I hope that I was able to help. If you have any more other questions that I might can answer, just leave them in the comments. I'm so excited. My mind is just all over the place. I did a photo shoot to celebrate me, because why not? So if you were wondering about Penn Foster is real, it's legit, and it works. And I'm here to show proof of that. So congratulations to me, 2026 graduate. All right, thank you guys for celebrating with me, and I will see you guys later.